he has caught his nemesis, the superhero Corefire, and they have a somewhat complicated relationship. Corefire is kind of like Superman, although for legal reasons, I didn't say that. Well. Corefire. I've waited more than half a lifetime for this. Corefire slumps, arms manacled to a set of pillars. He's doing that stupid thing of pretending to be asleep, like we're at summer camp. Well, let him, but I wish for once he would at least look up and see this, because frankly it's another tour de force. It's spectacular. I keep talking, but my mind is elsewhere. I've got to concentrate on conquering the world. Now that you are lying helpless at my feet, now that your finest efforts have proved futile, now that you are totally in my power, now that there is nothing you can do to stop me, now that you are thousands of miles from help, now that there is no possibility of escape, now that you have finally and irremediably lost, even though my experiment was a failure. Now that the armies of the world are helpless against me with my lasers and my force fields and my army of robot soldiers with their force fields and their laser eyes, even though I never got the girl. Now that your defeat is total and abject, now that I have crushed you comprehensively without qualification, now that I will reign supreme forever, now that I win, even though I'll never be you. The generators are just the hub of a network of forces I've set up, stretching well past the orbit of the moon. There's no one who can see the whole of it except me. The scale of the project, the Earth, a vast and shadowy galleon putting about, infinitely slow, infinitely ponderous in the high seas of the ether, dragged at by innumerable threads and sheets. It was a fantastic piece of mathematics, a baroquely extended word problem of novelistic proportions, to manipulate an unthinkably heavy mass of rock and clay, oceans and seas, buses and grand pianos afloat in space was like an ant pushing an ocean liner. Behind me, the machines rise up tier upon tier to the cavernous ceiling. I might have managed this years ago if that experiment had been completed. Those meddling fools. If only I'd written my dissertation properly. If only I'd gotten to finish. The tendrils of energy whip out and charge 5 subsidiary poles, and the whole apparatus begins to turn ever so slowly, nudging the Earth off course without breaking it apart. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, bringing the whole ponderous business, the cosmic clockwork, to heel. For a second, I stand at the fulcrum point of creation. God, I'm so unhappy. When the Nemesis alert went off, I could scarcely believe it. I should have guessed it with all the publicity, that maudlin spectacle. I wonder if there was anything in that coffin at all. There must have been a few people in on it, laughing up their sleeves at me. And to think I fell for it, I, Dr. Impossible, tricked by one of those mental pygmies. It was so obvious, exactly the kind of almost clever these ideas these people come up with, like pretending you've been knocked unconscious, like the secret identity thing. All heroes have an origin. It's a rule, right? A flash of fire, miraculous accident. But what could have made something like you, Corefire, so ungodly powerful, so perfect? You've barely aged, you know. You might live 1,000 years. Some people think you're an alien. Some people think you're Cain, condemned to wander the earth untouchable. Maybe you came from the future, a broken future like Lily's, his ex-girlfriend. Come back to fix the past. But no, I've been to the future, many futures, and there's nothing like you. I've seen futures where you went bad, went to my side. I've seen futures where you reigned as king. I've seen alternate realities where the accident that gave you powers happened to Erica instead, or Professor Burke, or the kid standing next to you, or to me, but somehow never the real me. It's one of the hardest puzzles. I was there, and I've tried everything to solve it, to work out the mystery of your accident, the secret inside of you. It's been a long time since Professor Burke's seminars, But you were never much of a scientist, were you, Jason? Has everybody forgotten about the Zeta beam? Because I didn't. Thank you.